Hello, I'm Fernando Z, developer of Hunternet Starfighter, and in this video I'm going to showcase the newly added support for Tobii head and eye tracking to Hunternet. Shout out to Tobii for sending me this Tobii 5, which made this all possible. So, the Tobii eye tracker adds head tracking support, which is really cool. You can look around your cockpit. It's very comfortable, it's very intuitive. And unlike Track IR or VR, you don't have to put anything on your head. Just sit down and boom, it's working. I really like that feature. What I'm really excited about though is the eye tracking, because that adds something completely new, something that is not available any other way, right? And what that lets you do is wherever you look, that's where you target. And you'll see there's a little spinning X in front of me. And as I look at these turrets, this one on the left here, this on the right, the eye tracker picks that up and it's extremely responsive and quite accurate. And if I press the target key, whatever it's spinning, that's what will get targeted. And while I have a target locked, I can look elsewhere and pick my next target, press target again, and it'll pick that up, right? And that works also in combination with your head tracking. So if I turn to the left here, I can look at these turrets to my left, and I can preview them, pick them out, boom, target them. You can also use the rear view. So if I switch to the rear view camera, I can pick out my target. Do I want to target this turret? Do I want to target this one on the far right, far left? Boom, that one, bam. Very intuitive, and it's very easy to use. So I'm really excited about this feature. I'm hoping that my next VR headset comes with built-in Tobii, because that would, to me, it would be the perfect way to fly. You get the immersion of VR plus the convenience of eye tracking from Tobii. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just look around the way you normally would, and then pick out your targets by gazing at them. I mean, you can't get more intuitive than that, right? So if you have a Tobii device and you want to try this out, this is going to be dropping in on Sunday's build. Today's Friday. I'll be making it available to everybody then, so you can try it out. If you're new to Hunternet and would like to try this, you can get access to Hunternet before we launch on Steam by backing us on Indiegogo or on hunternet.gg via PayPal, and that'll give you immediate access to the game. Or if you want to wait, you can also wishlist us on Steam, and then you'll be notified when we release, and you can get it there. If you're just curious and you want to learn more, I highly recommend you drop by our Discord. We have a lot of fellow sim pilots and genre fans there, and it's just a great little community, and you can follow the project more closely. I'm a big believer in adding as much cool hardware support as I can to the sim, and so I'm really happy how Tobii has turned out, and really appreciative of them sending me this Tobii 5 so I could add it to the game. So now, for those of you who are lucky to have this bit of kit in your setup, this is how you get it running in Hunternet. The first thing you need to do is press Escape to bring up the main menu, go to Settings, go to Cockpit, and make sure you have hardware head tracking turned on and hardware eye tracking turned on. Once you have those two turned on, you should be able to look around using your head and target things using your eyes, right? Now, you can adjust the Tobii. All the default settings should work pretty great out of the box. Let me know how the defaults feel for you. I want the defaults to be as great as possible, so you have to do as little fiddling as possible, and hopefully none at all. But if you want to adjust it, you can press Escape. The head amplification controls how much you have to turn your head in the real world to look all the way left or all the way right. The default is 4, and that feels really comfortable for me. It allows me to keep the cockpit, the display in view while still being able to look everywhere inside my cockpit. So if you feel like you need a little bit more, increase it. If you need a little bit less, decrease it. Pretty self-explanatory. Base pitch controls how you need to hold your head position to get a level view. So you feel like you're constantly looking lower than you want, then you want to increase the head pitch. If you feel like you're constantly looking too high, then you want to decrease the head pitch. So the default is 0. But for me, I tend to look a little bit towards my pilot's feet there, right? So I increased it gradually until I got it to 10, and that to me felt felt the most natural. But adjust that to taste, press escape. Once you have that, you're ready to go. It's a very easy experience out of the box. I had tried Tobii in a few other games and I felt like it was just a mess and too many configuration settings, so I'm hoping to keep it to a minimum so that you can get in, get it working, and then get to enjoying the game with the minimal amount of fuss and the minimum amount of configuration. The other thing you can do is you can map buttons to turn on and off head tracking and eye tracking by pressing a button. Like I can just turn it off, and now I can move my head freely without worrying about where I'm looking. You can do the same thing with eye tracking. You get a little audio feedback to let you know it's on or off. And you can map that to your keyboard or to your joystick just like you would map any other key in Hunternet. Let me get close to this enemy. These guys over here. There's also this new spinning indicator to show you what target you have previewed. You can turn that off as well under your ship's HUD settings. It's on by default. And another thing that I think is worth experimenting with if you have an eye tracker, the default is manual targeting, which means you'll just get a preview, but it won't actually switch to targeting what you're looking at until you press the target button. But with auto targeting, you can have the opposite behavior where all you need to do is look and it automatically targets, right? So you can turn that on. Let me go ahead and turn it on real quick to show you. Turn on auto targeting. I'm going to double tap to get rid of my target, and now as I look around, targets will constantly switch to whatever I'm looking at, right? The only exception to that is if, hold on a second. There. The only exception to, I had it off. The only exception to that is if you press the target key, you can lock a target. So you can turn on auto targeting, gaze at players. Once you find the one you want, press the target key to lock it. And why I think that auto targeting is worth looking at with Tobii is I feel like if you get used to it, it could lead to more, to a heightened sense of situational awareness, because you're going to be looking around more, you're going to be switching targets more frequently, getting a better sense of what's going on around you, and avoiding target fixation. But then when you do need to focus on one target, press the target key, and you get the best of both worlds. You can still get that preview, right, and switch to another target. So give that a try if you're using Tobii, experiment with auto targeting. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think of it this Sunday when it drops. And again, if you like what you see and you have Tobii and would like to give this a try, you can back us on Indiegogo or on Hunternet.gg. If you're curious, drop by the Discord. I'd love to hear from you. And that's it. Good hunting, pilots, and see you Sunday.